Money FM 89.3, the best of Saturday mornings.
All right, let's step into our Wide World segment today. From climate change to AI, Singapore's young people are imagining what the future is going to look like. We are going to talk with the Young Founders School and two SG120 student speakers who are wowing audiences with their vision of 2085. Urvi Jain, the head of Philanthropic Relations at the Young Founders School, is with us in the studio, as is Rhea Jain, the Young Founders School 120 speaker, grade 11 at the Overseas Family School, and Lauren Rice, also from the Young Founders School, grade 12 at Hua Chong Institution. Welcome to everybody. We are happy to have you with us today.
Thank you so much for having us here.
It's a big group we got in the studio today.
We do indeed.
And Urvi, why don't we start with you? Tell us about the Young Founders School SG120 event. What is that?
So I'll talk about Young Founders School first. So Young Founders School, or YFS as we call it, is on a mission. It's a non-profit. We are on a mission to bring entrepreneurial education and internship opportunities to students around the globe. We typically work with the age group of 11 to 18 years. We've been around for almost 10 years now. Next year will be our 10th anniversary. In this time, we worked with 25,000 students, 95% of whom are from underprivileged backgrounds. We've got operations in Singapore, Hong Kong, India, and purely by chance even in Africa. And this year we hope to take it to Indonesia as well as Philippines.
What was the thinking behind the school? What was the reason for setting it up?
So we have two different aspects of our programs. So one is the learning aspect, which is where all our courses reside. This is, entrepreneurial education. So we teach students to do things like presentations, to how to talk in person and how to present an audience, how to come up with an idea, what should be the, how do you do a market study for it. That's one part of it. And then there is also work-ready skills. How do you write an email? How do you present yourself? Or how do you do personal branding for yourself? And then the second aspect of it is application, which is providing them with opportunities, internship opportunities, and actually applying the knowledge that they've learned. Throughout these two programs, our students have the support of mentors from that help them at every step of the way. They work with them from studying to even teaching them around any question that they might have during their internship opportunities.
Well, let's bring in our students to tell us a little bit more about their connection to this. Rhea Jain, let's talk with you first, a grade 11 student at the OFS Overseas Family School. Why were you drawn to this Young Founders School?
Actually, the idea, like the speech which I presented for SG120 was actually around how Singapore is soon going to sink due to climate change and rising sea levels. And this was an issue which I actually got to know during the summer holidays when I used to go down and read newspapers. And a recurrent issue which I would see is that Singapore is going to sink because of global warming and climate change. And I always wanted to pursue this idea and explore it further and raise awareness of it, but I just didn't have a platform to do so. So then when I saw YFS and how their work towards young initiatives and how they could actually provide me a platform where I could perpetuate these ideas, that's when I was hey, maybe I should try getting involved into this activity, and that's how I got to know about it.
Wonderful. If only you were more confident. It's amazing.
Can we do anything about that? Increase your confidence level?
Fantastic. Lauren, what about you? How did you find out about Young Founders School, and what did you talk about in your TED Talk style presentation?
So I actually found out about Young Founders School through my own school, and I was really intrigued by the opportunity to speak in front of a large audience of Singaporean corporate leaders as well as entrepreneurs, because I think that rational discourse is something that's very important today, and so I really wanted to express my views on certain issues. So for what I talked about, it was largely based on this video I watched by one of my favorite philosophy YouTubers called Jonathan B. about how in the past, the way we viewed innovation was radically different from the way that we view it today. So I think that like innovation in the past was definitely treated with a bit more skepticism, whereas nowadays people may give innovation a little bit more weight than it deserves, insofar as sometimes people innovate for the sake of innovating. So I would say that though this idea is less pronounced in Singapore, it was worth mentioning nonetheless, which is why I created my speech and around that topic.
Yeah, Rhea, Lauren, let's stay with you on that since you just mentioned it. What is your vision? And we're talking with Lauren Rice, a grade 12 student at Hwa Chong Institution. What's your vision of 2085 in Singapore when it comes to innovation, or how the country approaches innovating for the future?
Yeah, I think that like in 2085, it's very important for people to innovate for the sake of their beneficiaries and to always have their beneficiaries in mind. I think that
What's an example of their beneficiary?
So for instance, if you were innovating for a particular cause, for instance, let's just say it's like something by an entrepreneur and they're trying to help with the elderly and certain like eye vision problems, then evidently you should keep the elderly in mind, as well as, for instance, if you are innovating for underprivileged groups, then you should be keeping the costs in view, because that's something that you want to make accessible, right? So I think that's something that's very important, and especially as we come to innovate even more with the progress in technology, it's very important to keep our beneficiaries in mind.
Fantastic. How old are you guys again? How old are you?
I'm 16.
And I'm 18.
Wow, amazing. All right, let's bring it back to Rhea. So what is your vision? So you gave this talk at the Young Founder School SG120 event. You focused on climate change.
Yes.
What does Singapore look like in 2085 with regards to climate change? Are we still here?
Yeah, actually, that's what.
Have the ice sheets covered us?
Are we all swimming?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I mean, like the idea which I actually perpetuate forward was Project Bangkit SG. Bangkit is like a Malay word which actually means to rise, and I believe that Singapore, because of its like innovation, it has like a good, like strong drive of innovation, as like Lauren mentioned. I believe that we will be actually able to turn into more of a modular city, because I mean, this idea of sinking cities is not just because like it's not just restricted to Singapore, but it's also like a real issue which is faced by many countries in the world. For instance, like let's just take Indonesia and how Jakarta is like sinking, right? And like the government is trying to do the things in order to stop it from sinking. So I feel like Singapore can also like shift towards a more modular cities approach, where we will be having like seaports, and we'll actually not be having like condos, right, like how we are having right now, but rather we will be having things like pods, ferry terminals, etc.
Interesting. And Urvi Jain, let's go back to you at the Young Founders School. You know, when you listen to young people like this, you said that you support some 20,000 students a year across 12 countries. Does it give you hope? You know, first of all, what goes through your mind when you hear the confidence and the clarity of these young people present their ideas?
I have to take you out to a conversation that we just had outside. Rhea and Lauren and I were sitting, and Rhea says, "Oh, you know, this is the first time I'm going to be on radio." And I was like, "Really? So am I." So, you know, and you're about, I'm not going to talk about my age,
younger.
but a few years younger than me, a few decades younger than me. But just that confidence to be able to be here to talk with such articulation, with that conviction and that passion, absolutely amazing. You know, I think we can safely say, and I speak so for every single person who's in the room that day, we are in good hands, and these kids are really.
If the rest of us can get out of the way, right? The older generation.
Yeah, and you know, at Young Founder School, we keep saying that we want the students to be the architect of their own future, and SG120 event was all about that. And you know, they've made us feel like there is a huge potential and a very, very bright future ahead of us.
Staying with that, Urvi, what really impresses me with your 6 finalists, I'm just going through the list here. Tell me if I'm wrong. You had 2 students from ITE East, 1 from Hwa Chong Institute, 1 from National Junior College, 1 from OFS, and 1 from Nexus. What impresses me about that, it's a very wide range of students, isn't it, from a very different kind of academic institutions. What are you looking for when you pick your finalists? What are you seeing in them?
Just the right entrepreneurial mindset, you know. So it's not just about the great ideas that they had, which is obviously wonderful, But I would say they also have the courage, which is very entrepreneurial, to be able to go up there, stand in front of an audience which has adults, which has, corporate leaders.
How big is the audience?
About 150 to 200.
That's big, yeah.
Yeah, it's huge. And this event, so SG120, we had about 100 applications that came in. And, it was in partnership with Singapore Global Network. So we did have government officials in from Singapore as well present in our audience. But just, to be able to present that, I think... Again, I get goosebumps whenever, when they were talking, I was getting goosebumps and I was feeling so proud. I'm the mother of 2 young kids, and, the one thing that we often talk about is the skills that these students has are actually the future skills of the world. Everything else will get normalized or evened out with AI coming in. But if you are able to talk and present your ideas and convey your message with so much passion and confidence, that's really what we were looking at.
We're talking about the Young Founders School SG120 event that was recently inviting students from across Asia to deliver TED Talk style talks to showcase their leadership skills and present a vision for Singapore in the world in the year 2085. 2 of our students that are with us in today, Rhea Jain and Lauren Rice. Lauren, what was it like to be with all these other students that were doing kind of the same thing as you, with different programs? Did any of the other projects kind of stand out to you? I don't mean to put you on the spot, but did anything come to mind that you thought was super interesting?
Well, honestly, I thought that all of the other speeches were really interesting, but to specifically point out Rhea's, I thought it was super interesting because whenever we consider climate change, we're always thinking of ways to stop it, whereas for Rhea, she kind of adapted to it rather than thinking about prevention. So I thought that was rather forward-looking, and I thought that, of course, whenever you are approaching a problem, you want to have an equal mix of prevention as well as adaptation. So that's why I thought her idea was particularly fascinating, and I comment her on that. Good job.
And in fact, many climate scientists now have started moving from this idea of we're going to stop it to how do we live with it, right?
Exactly, yeah.
And sorry, so let's talk to you about that, Rhea. Your take on it as well, not only your own talk, but maybe some of the other ones that were interesting to you.
Yeah, actually, like Lauren's idea of like innovation and technology.
You're just going to praise each other back and forth here, huh? Is that what we're doing? Okay,
no,
that's okay. That's all right.
I think hers was also quite good, but I feel like there was quite a wide range of topics that were discussed during the talk. Like, for example, I remember like Joshua was talking about like AI innovation and how he talked about like technology and how like technology is like soon going to maybe like take over or something along those lines. And I felt like that was quite fascinating to hear because all of us were talking about like key global issues, right? And then I feel like it was quite enriching to learn like all these different perspectives, because I mean honestly I used to think technology and innovation as something positive. It's going to actually take the society like towards a better end. However, when they presented the ideas, I was like, that's quite an intriguing way to think about it. So,
and Lauren, bringing it back to you, what did you think you learned from taking part in this conference, this big event in front of 200 people? You've got government officials there, education guys, corporate guys, and you knocked it out of the park, obviously. What did you learn from it?
Well, I think that for me, I've never really been scared of public speaking. So when you talk about like all the people in the audience, that probably wasn't the thing that fazed me the most. I think probably one of the biggest takeaways I had from the event was actually time management skills, because I'm 18 years old this year, so I'm taking a lot of my final examinations, and in the week leading up to the event, so the event was like on a Saturday, right? But that entire week I had like my so-called hell week of examinations. So I really had to apportion my time very well, and I think you just have to take things one step at a time and spend a little bit of time each day practicing your speech, and then everything's going to be fine.
And what about you, Rhea, just to get your takeaway?
Yeah, I feel like the experience like profoundly strengthened not only like my confidence, but I also like as a storyteller. More importantly, it taught me the importance of visionary leadership. This means like your thoughts, you just don't have to think boldly, but you also have to think responsibly. And I feel like above all, I gained the conviction that meaningful change actually begins from a reimagined idea. You do not have to recreate the whole wheel, but rather you just have to think about the problem differently from a different perspective. And that kind of critical thinking was something which really helped.
And Rhea, what do you hope happens with your idea? Do you hope somebody in the government is listening or somebody in industry is listening? What do you want to actually do with this?
No, definitely. Actually, I believe this goes back to the question which you asked me at the start. It is the fact that I chose to do it with YFS. It's because of the vast audience which was there. There were entrepreneurs, there were innovators, there were policy makers. All of these have the power to make change. All of these have the power to work with me. Even though I'm just a youth, yes, but I have this vision, and I want to be able to get the right resources and help to be able to take this vision forwards. And this is why I was really eager to present at this event, so that I can actually build connections with executives, policy makers who can actually bring their ideas, bring their resources to the table, so that we can sit together and work towards this problem, because this problem is important.
And Lauren, what does that look like for you and your idea? How would you like to connect with industry, with government, with other organizations?
Well, I think it really depends on whenever there's a startup that's up and coming, I would hope that policymakers at least keep their beneficiaries in mind. And I think it's a fairly simple concept in terms of what you're trying to grasp here, which is just that you want to keep in mind what your beneficiaries actually want. And so I would say that it's not really something that is very complicated per se. It's just difficult in practice to really execute. So I would hope that policymakers are just keep this in mind while they're making their policies.
Yeah. Urvi, what I'm hearing from the guys in the studio is critical thinking, problem solving, reasoning, analytical skills. All of the things that they're going to need if they're going to survive in the age of AI. A move away from traditional fact-based rote learning. We have to move away from that kind of education because it's obsolete. It's becoming obsolete. AI can do it. What is your take on that? What do you think that the Youth Founders School gives young people that they're going to need in the age of AI?
Exactly the skills that you spoke about. If you talk to a student and say, here, come and do a problem-solving module. Nobody's going to come and sign up for it, right? So what we're trying to do now is we're trying to create modules or education programs which have all of these modules put together into jobs that the kids would want to do. So, for example, you want to be a YouTube content creator. Sure, let's do a course around that. But what we would teach them in that is problem solving, how to read a contract, how to build your personal brand, and all these modules are kind of wrapped around this cool job that they have, which they want to do. And, those are the skills that we want the kids to have. Like I said, these are the human skills, are the future skills of the world. And if we can get them to do that, if we can get them to present, I think we've done our job really well.
And the final last word to you, Urvi, how do people find the Young Founders School if parents are listening or students are listening and they'd like to know more information?
We have a website at youngfounderschool.com. You'll find us on our LinkedIn and social media, on Instagram. We are very, very active there. Reach out and Urvi at youngfounderschool.com if you want to reach out to me directly.
Great. Thank you. Thank you, Urvi. Thank you, Rhea. Thank you, Lauren. Congratulations on your speeches and your ideas. And thanks for sharing them with us today.
Money FM 89.3.
So, your AI agents, they make the team that uses them more productive, right? But if they aren't connected to other agents, or your data, or your existing workflows, how productive can they really make your teams? Any business can add AI agents. IBM connects your agents across your company to change how you do business. Let's create smarter business. IBM.